Okay, guys, so fiat money is fake, in my opinion. What is fiat money? I'm going to try to give you guys a very simple explanation of what fiat money is if you don't know what it is, assuming you're probably young. So, to make it really simple, fiat money is essentially money that the government prints. The US dollars that we have in our pockets, that's considered fiat money because it's not backed by gold or silver. So, all money as a medium of exchange historically was backed by something that gave it true value. Because at the end of the day, money, a piece of paper is just a piece of paper, right? So that's why gold, silver, metals were always used as a true holder of value for money. But now the government just prints money as they choose to do so. And that is what we consider to be called fiat money, right? So the value just comes from government say so. And all that it is literally just paper and numbers on the screen. When you open your bank account and you look at your money, it's not literally like physical money. It's just numbers that are coded into the computer system, but it's valid, right? So that's a quick explanation of what fiat money is. And I want to talk about how we got to this point, and I'm going to wrap it up at the end and explain why I think fiat money is fake and pretty much why it's part of the reason the entire economy that we live in is like cooked to start because it's designed in a bad way. The United States abandoned the gold standard. I didn't say this, but we used to be on the gold standard in terms of how our money was based. And in the 1970s, 1971 to be exact, the United States decided to abandon this gold standard. So after this point, the dollar was no longer backed by gold. So I'm sure you've heard this before, right? But what does that mean? So if there is only so much gold that exists in the world and the dollar is tied to that gold that physically exists, it means that they can only print out so much money in relation to how much gold exists. Because no matter what, if you're able to exchange those dollars for gold, they can't just print infinite money. They have to be able to give people gold in exchange for the dollars that they have, right? In theory. I'm sure they thought about this. They probably realized like, yo, we don't really have enough gold for how much money we printed. In the 1970s, we have like $37 trillion of debt now. And they did this in the 70s. So come on, if the gold standard was still around now, they would have been got rid of that shit. So they got rid of the gold standard. And this effectively marked the end of gold status as the reserve currency of the world. So after this point, you pretty much have to have United States dollars instead of gold if you want to have a true currency. And in my opinion, the problem with this system of money, now that I've explained pretty much how we got here, is that it allows the government to print out much more money than is, I don't want to say needed for an economy, but it puts the entire control of an economy in the hands of the government. And when the government has stimulus programs and government programs that print money, they are not producing value in the economy, right? And I'm going to get to why I think this is bad for the average person, people like us. So if you're somebody who has assets, you're somebody who's rich, the government, banks, etc., you can benefit from money being printed. Because if let's say you own a home, if your home is worth $100,000 and they print $1 billion, by virtue of there being more money in the system out there to go around, your home price is going to go up. This is supply and demand. This is basic economics 101, right? But for people who don't own homes, you're not getting any benefit from the inflation pretty much. So I think the reason I'm saying fiat money is fake is because the infinite printing that I'm talking about, it results in inflation that will never stop. So it's not like one day inflation is going to reverse. It might slow down a bit, but by virtue of how money is created through thin air, there's no way that we're going to ever have less money than we do today. Tomorrow, there's going to be more credit created. The day after that is going to be the same thing. So we're going to always have dollars being added to the economy, which means inflation is never going to end, right? So this entire system operates on a system of debt because, like I just said, they're going to continuously be issuing out credit, which basically is how the entire system is ran. And like I previously said as well, the banks, governments, and the wealthy people, they're the people who are getting the benefits of this inflation because their assets are increasing in value. Whereas people like you, me, the regular person who has a 9-to-5 job, your wage, the amount of money that you get paid does not increase at the same level that these assets increase due to inflation. So if you are following what I'm saying right now, in a sense, the system is against, I don't want to say rigged, but I'm going to say the system works against the average worker because while you're getting paid a steady wage for pretty much your whole life, you know, most people don't have substantial jumps or substantial lows in income. You pretty much start off somewhere and you pretty much, you know, so you rise slowly as you get older or whatnot, right? But in turn, the price of everything that you have to pay for, assets, if you want to buy a home, all of that shit is going up at an exponential rate. So while you're getting paid the same amount of money, the government is printing out hella money and they're causing the price of everything else to continuously go up while how much you make is basically going in a straight line. And that's why I said the people who benefit are the banks, the rich people, the governments, the people who have the ability to benefit from that inflation. And it might sound crazy benefiting from inflation. Yes, that's what these people do. And that's how they have net worths of $10 million, like the boomers or whatever, because they've had these assets for a long time before they were worth anything compared to what the dollar is worth now, if that makes any sense.